Hi, George here, and welcome to Make It Five Nights at Freddy's in Unity. In this video, well, I personally have gotten tired of my rooms looking like there's almost nothing inside of them. Yes, I made the party table and the wonderful party hats, but 99% of the time, you're either flipping through these cameras or you're taking a look at your lovely office space. So what I would like to do is very quickly create all these different elements. That is, by create, I mean model all these different elements real quick, just so that I have them in my scene. So let's go ahead in here. What I'm going to do is grab this room, go to File, Export Selection, make this a new MLT object, and I'm going to call this one, let's just call this Security Room. I already have a security room type, so I want to call this something a little bit more distinct. Security room items _01. Hit enter. Let's go ahead and open that scene up real quick. Now the reason I do this is because I just like to separate myself from all the other junk going on. And yes, I could hide it, but this way I'm just in a completely clean scene. I can delete out this room and import in all the assets later on so that I can just have them exactly where I want to. It's my workflow, and I'm sure a lot of people work differently. Right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the ceiling because, as you probably have noticed as you've watched me, the ceiling keeps getting in my way. In addition, I'm going to go ahead and delete the back walls. They're really not important. You can't even see them anyway. Let's hit Control S to save again. Let's go back over to my reference material and begin getting an idea of what I'm looking at. So the first thing is, of course, is that desk. Now the desk itself looks like there might be a slight curve to it. However, on first thought, I'm thinking, is this, a large fisheye type lens? But why would you have a fisheye lens if this is truly you seeing the environment? So I'm assuming the desk is truly curved because I'm actually not seeing any curvature on all of the other straight lines, as you can see here on the window, as well as in the office itself. Up here, this ceiling is a straight horizontal line. Therefore, the desk itself must be curved. The next thing is, of course, we're going to have two drawers, probably some side parts over there. It looks like the desk has a back to it as well. And then we have a bunch of miscellaneous equipment here. I'm guessing that's technically what you're looking at when you start looking through the security cameras. I'm probably just going to make one of these little old school monitors, and then I'm going to just duplicate it several times and change each one's size. Then we have the cupcake, and then we have the fan, and then a bunch of simple planes all over the place with different graphics for simple things like, oh, I love Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's go ahead and dive right on in. So jumping into Maya, the first thing I want to do is create that desk. Now the desk itself was curved, so let's start. As stupid as it sounds, we're going to start with a box. Let's go ahead and right click on this box, go to face mode, grab the bottom of this box, bring it on up to the top of the floor. Come on in here, grab the top of this box if I can. This might be a good time to turn the other kind of selection mode back on. Now let's go back into our reference material. It looks like the desk is perfectly in line with is flush and as thick roughly as the border of this window. So let's go ahead back in here and use that assumption to our advantage. Move it on up right there, right click, do an extrude face as well, move that up there. Come on, you can do it. There we are. So there's the thickness of our desk. Now let's go ahead and move it on back to the other side of the wall. Let's move our pivot point, DV, back there, move it on back to there, and then adjust the width of these different elements to fill the entire room space. There we are, perfect. Now, what we got to do next is, so my window frame is probably a little bit thin then, because it's looking like this is far thicker than what I have already. Let's take a look at that in Maya again. Yeah, it's probably a bit thin, but let's not sweat these little tiny details. The next thing I need to do is create these series of drawers, as well as I'm guessing, okay, I missed that. It looks like there's one speaker underneath the actual desk. Now, that means I'm going to need to carve out the space under the desk, which I was going to have to do anyway. So let's go ahead and just delete the bottom elements of the desk already. Let's right click, go to edge mode, grab these two edges, right click, and let's bridge those two together. F8 to go back to object mode. Now that we have this desk, it looks like it's a little bit too wide. It actually hits the frame itself. Going back in here to take a look at what's going on, it's hard to tell what's going on, really. There's not a whole lot of information. Therefore, I'm going to assume whoever made this desk wasn't breaking laws of physics, and I'm going to bring these two sides in. There we are. Control S once again to save, because you always save when you're in Maya, because Maya will crash and you'll lose all of your work. Taking another look again, there are going to be, I think this is supposed to be one of those really crappy metal desks that we probably all at some point in our life have owned. But more importantly, beyond it being a metal desk, I kind of need to give this a curvature. And to do that, I'm going to hold down Shift, right click, go to Insert Edge Loop Tool, and I'm going to insert an arbitrary number of edges. Nowhere near that many. I don't feel like manually doing it like that. Let's do, I don't know, maybe 7 edges. Come at this from a top-down view and just begin curving this whole section out. So grabbing each of these elements and making something that feels like a curve. Something like, I gotta adjust the other ones, but something like, I don't know, this. Grab these two again and widen them out a bit. There we are, something like that. And these two as well again, and then, yeah. I'm going to have to go back in here multiple times and kind of adjust to what the curve looks like. But let's see. Okay, yeah, that's a curve. Control S again. Perfect. Now we need the panels on the sides that come down. Now I can do these either as separate objects, or I can extrude from this object. What do I want to do? Well, it looks like this top part is going to be a different material. Or maybe not. Maybe it is all the same material. It looks like there's just a simple noise texture going on here. Let's zoom way on in and move on down, and we can see, yeah, actually this looks like, what is it, the fractal pattern inside of Maya that's being used across all these different drawers. Nothing terribly complicated in this case. I really got to give this guy some credit. He used a lot of very simple materials and created an outstanding game just by using it. And once again, this is something you should take to heart. You don't need to labor and create photorealistic graphics to create an amazing game. Use what you have, make it fun, and go for it. Not quite halfway, a little bit further over to the side are where the drawers are going to be. Now the drawers probably don't need to work, so let's just create another box, and in this box let's scale it down a bit, something like that. Hold down D, move this down here, DV to the corner right over there. Let's do that to the other corner instead. Let's do the other corner. Whoops, Control Z. DV right there. Move it on up. There we are, and let's just get it over to the side. I'm guessing it's going to be something like this. This is at least how I remember most desks kind of function in this capacity. Am I a little bit off here? Yeah, I think I am. Let's go to face mode. Just make sure I truly am where I'm supposed to be. Perfect. There we go. F8. Grab face mode again. Go to the top. Move it to the bottom of that area, and just start moving these other elements in, because these never go completely full out. Something probably comparable to that. And, yeah, not so bad. I'll go with it. Why not? Let's go ahead and, let's see, do I have a transform location for this? Yes. So let's do a Control D to duplicate, and in the X-axis, let's just turn that to 1. And if everything is perfect, which it never is, let's take a look at this. We should have these at relatively equal spaces from each side. Go ahead and grabbing both of these elements, and yeah, it looks pretty good. All right, so perfect. So there's our desk. Let's take a look at that speaker really quick. So that speaker is right there, snap dab, right in the middle of this thing, right over there, kind of turn at an angle. Oh, we've got cables back there too. That's some nice touch of detail. We'll deal with that later on using some curves. Anyway, let's go ahead and put a speaker in, make another cube, bring it on up, D and V to the bottom, and whoops, DV right there, and X to the bottom, and make this more narrow, something along those lines. And I'll take a look at the reference again. It's a little thicker than it, isn't it? And probably not as... Speakers are never quite like that, so let's do something along those lines. The top is a bit tall. I doubt it goes to the top of this, so let's move it down just a tiny, tiny bit. There's really no features to this speaker. It's completely in darkness, except for, of course, the actual rims on each of those elements. So let's go ahead and just, for right now, move it on in, move it on back, and get a better like that, and move it along the plane right there. And I am going to shrink this thing down a bit, but scale it up, because I just feel like I did something wrong here. There we go. Okay, so there's our speaker.